Hi there, my name is Dina Falconi, herbalist, educator, author of Foraging and Feasting and Earthly Bodies and Heavenly Hair. What are we focusing on today? It is this amazing immune stimulating, powerful herbal remedy called Boneset. Eupatorium, Perfoliatum of the Asteraceae family. This is a perennial, this is a native to North America. And let's see, I want you to be able to learn how to ID this properly. Let's also discuss where you would find this. So where does this like to grow? This grows, I'm standing actually in a ditch. You might not be able to see that, but I'm standing in a wet ditch, a drainage ditch. So this loves moist soil. So you're gonna find Boneset, Eupatorium perfoliatum in wet meadows and fields, along the edges of marshes and swamps, and it does like some full sun, so you're looking for that. Let's see what else. Oh, where does it grow within the United States or within North America? It is the eastern portion all the way to the Midwestern states. So let's get you up close to the plant so you really can key it out, so you know how to properly identify it. And then we'll go more into how to use it, what its therapeutic actions are. Okay, come on over. Let's have you have a close-up here of the plant and how it likes to grow. And we are seeing here, it's about a 4-foot height. And let's get closer up so you can see what's really going on with the stem and these leaves. So how are you going to know you have Eupatorium perfoliatum? You're going to know when it's in bloom because it's got these white flowers and they create a flat top. They're an Asteraceae flower, so they're a mini little composite, actually just made up of the disc. But I want you to flow down with me to look at the leaves. And the leaves have a very specific way of growing on this plant. And this is called perfoliated, which gives it its species name, Perfoliatum. So it looks like the leaves have been perforated by the main stem. I'm hoping you can see that. Cool. Let's also discuss here that the leaves are oppositely arranged, so they are symmetrical. You can see that. And let's get a little bit more macro so you can see the texture of the leaves and the hairs on the stem. Notice these wrinkly, rough textured leaves that end in a very pointy tip. And let's move to looking at this round main stem. So we have a round main stem and hoping that you can see the hairs on it. You can see the hairs on this main stem. Here we are looking at the underside of the leaf, and you can see that it has fuzzy, hairy activity going on. And notice that the leaf margins are serrated. They have teeth. Boneset has lanceolate shaped leaves, and you can see that right here. It's a lance-like pointy leaf. Where are you going to find this? The USDA growing zones 3 to 9, in case I forgot to say that. Let's talk about this beauty and how it's used. When do we harvest it? And we harvest it right now as the flowers just start to open. So you're gathering the flowering tops. This is a good example of a flowering top. I would include leaf and flower. You could even cut it a little bit lower than I did. So you would use all of this for your medicine. You would remove that central stem, which is pretty much cellulose and doesn't have a lot of activity in it. And so this is peak medicine moment for Boneset. How do I prefer to use it? As a tincture. The reason being is that it's extremely bitter and most folks don't want to drink it as a tea. So I'm going to tincture the flowering tops at this very beautiful moment. So that brings me to the flavor profile that we have here, which is an extremely bitter plant, not appealing. And also it's not a very aromatic plant. If you're going to smell it, you're going to pick up hints of very subtle smells, but it's not a strongly aromatic plant. What else to say about Eupatorium perfoliatum? Yes, it's really important to discuss how we use this. So this is not a food. This is really a medicine. This is a medicine plant. It's a potent medicine plant, and we're going to use it when we need support to help us move through colds, flus, fevers. It's got a lot of beautiful actions, and let's discuss those. It's considered a diaphoretic. What does that mean? It opens the pores and helps us sweat to release toxins. It helps us to bring a fever down. That's called a febrifuge. It's also has that bitter flavor, which helps to stimulate digestive action, some bile activity, and it's a gentle aperient, which means it actually has a gentle laxative effect. I should note that if you use this in large quantities, though, this Boneset has the potential of making you have nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. So it's meant to be used in small doses, and it also has pyrrolizidine alkaloids potentially, which are considered liver toxic. So it's the kind of thing that you don't use all the time and regularly. It's something that you use in acute specific situations. Let's go back to its properties though. It's also really helpful when there's pain in the bones, when there's pain in the bones and muscles related to things like fevers and flus. What other things to say about Boneset? I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot more. Keep your minds open to learning, so much more about this plant, but I think that covers it. This is a wonderful immune stimulating supportive plant to help us through when we have flus, fevers, colds. That's what I forgot to mention. It's also an expectorant, so it helps us to bring phlegm out of the upper respiratory. But again, we've got an extremely valuable Native American wildflower here in our midst that's just a great ally. Most households really could benefit from having some of this medicine tucked away and used very specifically. Now, I also just want to mention that it's contraindicated when pregnant, and because of the pyrrolizidine alkaloids, again, you're not using it long term. And really with any new food, any new herb, you're going to be consulting your healthcare professional and figuring out if this plant is right for you. Okay, so let's see if I've forgotten anything. I think that is everything for the moment. May you find some Boneset in your landscape. May you bring it into your life. May it be a healing ally for you. And thank you for joining me. And if you've enjoyed this and you want more, perhaps you'd like to check out my online course, Wild Food Health Boosters and Herbal Remedies, at wildfoodhealthboosters.com. See you next time.